Okay, we are in a situation where Brexit is the current theme in the market. There are two schools of thought. The Prime Minister David Cameron is in favor of that, along with some influential British leaders. But then there are opposition also, and I would not know the mind of the Britishers who would go for a vote. The market technically is showing signs of nervousness and is not sure what it wants to do, but I'm damn sure that if the market tries to go up, it will meet with equal bout of selling pressure, which means any upside now is capped till we get the verdict from the British people as to whether they would like to stay with the European Union or would like to be alone. The currency market will be in turmoil if they leave, and so will be the stock markets. Now, this is a consensus opinion all across. My personal feeling is that Britain is not going to exit. If that happens, there will be a gap up in the market somewhere on Thursday, and so keeping positions between Monday to Wednesday would be very crucial, because it's a 50-50 toss. That being the background, normally traders will get jittery at the slightest possible news coming from Europe, which obviously while you are trading in the Indian market, you will fail to understand till you see the actual cracking happening. I would dare to say that we are still into the trading range of 8,300 and 8,050, the Nifty cash levels. And a break below 8,050 will be the first sign of a huge correction. Till that time, it will be buy on dips with stop losses, or till that time sell on rise with stop losses. Stop losses being defined as 8,300 Nifty cash and 8,050 Nifty cash. But in the meantime, in the middle order, I think 8,150, a break of that in cash Nifty, will suggest a temporary corrective phase for the day, but it is not suggested that you keep open positions during that particular day to find out a gap down or a gap up next morning, which will spoil the open position trades. Bank Nifty has failed to rally, so would be the private sector banks. And on Friday I saw a bit of PSU banks getting jittery, State Bank of India to name one. In the meantime, monsoon reports are absolutely fine, and we have a GST issue. Monsoon session of Parliament, I don't know exactly when it starts. Maybe towards the end of the month. So that has to be checked up as to how monsoon session of the Parliament tackles the GST. The opinion is that GST is going to be passed. So to that extent, I would say that the market knows that GST is going to be passed. But at the same time, once it passes, it will be a huge relief for the market, which has been really waiting for this reform for a very large period of time. And this would be one of the best reforms under the new central government, though I personally think there are so many reforms which has happened now unnoticed, and media has not splashed it heavily for reasons like I don't know what is palatable in the minds of public, which news is breaking news. But I think the power sector itself is a huge reform made by Honorable Minister Piyush Goyal, who happens to be a chartered accountant. And I think he's done a fantastic job. You will find all the benefits of this maybe 2018 or 2019, not before that. There are good noises in the road development area, and that itself is a reform in terms of government spending on road projects, which has got implication which are of high value at some point of time. So while that portion is okay, inflation is still not manageable, but we are hopeful that the inflation will be managed with good rains, and thereby a rate cut will be in the offing at some point of time. So when we look at a, let's say, 6 months time horizon, everything is fine. When we look at immediate time horizon, things are jittery. Now, Nifty, as I say, that is jittery. Let's look at the chart of Nifty and you'll get to understand why I am saying so. So this is Nifty, and you see, if you look at the candlesticks pattern of charting, then you have series of doji in this zone, which was creating the pressure. So, closer to 8250, everywhere there was a selling which was happening, and we had a huge long white candle followed by again dojis, and weekend situation is like this, that at the end of the week we still have a doji, a weekly doji is also there. So I am tending to believe that the market may correct a bit more. Maybe first stoppage would be somewhere around this support zone, which is about 8070. About 8070 in future. If it breaks that, then we might see levels of, maybe it will enter this zone somewhere around here, maybe here, 7970. So this could be entering the zone, and this is where the movement started. So I think the entire retracement will happen, and so be careful about how to trade in Nifty. And if that be the case, obviously the market will also correct in a decent fashion. What happens there, it will depend on Brexit and things like that. So that's what we call is a wobbly market. Coming to specific themes. Since the FII limits in Ujjivan Financial Services has been exhausted, right now it seems to me that the upside is capped. So that upside would be 390 to 390, 400. That's the cap of Ujjivan at this point of time. But then there are trading situations closer to 362 types, a buying zone, followed by 345, 46, a buying zone, and definitely 10-50 rupees higher is a selling zone. If you have investments, you should sell it as many times possible and get to know about the trading. Max Financial is a good idea because the reverse merger after the merger of HDFC Life and Max into Max Financial would definitely avoid listing for HDFC and Max, big insurance companies. And so the story could be very strong at 470. I think it's a fundamental good story to back for. So it becomes a kind of a stock to trade every day and hold on positions on a couple of days. So I think Max Financial story, I'm liking it hell of a lot. This was not much in my radar. If you look at Max's chart also, we can possibly understand what exactly. Market got the hint of the deal on Friday and did a huge kind of a breakout. And I think after that it was trading lower, but I think that is fair enough as far as the trading is concerned. I think the closing of 470, can Max come down to 440, 45 levels? But the story of an insurance company getting listed in India is something which we were all waiting for. We had the HDFC Life for the purpose of the listing, and then we had Max also for the purpose of listing. Now a Max Life and a HDFC Life will make it the biggest insurance company in India, and we have it through a reverse merger. If we can enter into Max Financial Services, I think it's a great story. This story doesn't end at 500, 600 rupees. That's what I feel like. So I am suggesting that you all should take positions in Max Financial Services and then get to do the trading part of it. We have a 580, 90 kind of earlier high in Max, which corrected up to 350 times. So now we are 450, 470. We'll definitely cross the earlier high going forward, and as things will develop. But I think this is a fantastic story which we should encash upon. There has been some questions regarding telecom sector and beaten down Arcom and beaten down Idea and things like that. See, any stock which is beaten down beyond proportion is a good buy. And to that extent, even BHEL is a good buy. But would you like to buy a BHEL? My question is beaten down price at 220 rupees. Would you like to buy a BHEL? Because a lot of things have happened in the power sector, knowingly and unknowingly, and I think Piyush Goyal has done a fantastic job. So power to me looks very strong, but would I like to buy power? I don't think so. I think the returns, ROIs are not good enough to buy power sector stocks as such. But then beaten down valuations one can buy because there are bounces, and in case of telecom, I don't see the business model to be very strong because of Reliance Jio's entry maybe July 2016. I don't think how these ideas of the world will be able to take the mammoth Reliance Jio's pricing structure. So yes, there are bounce backs, but all bounce backs are not supposed to be bought. Like you had mentioned that the metals have all gone up by 50%. Now the question is, metal is something which is like a solid physical substance. You can see it, you can feel it, you can weigh it. So there's a valuation attached to a metal commodity. But when it comes to service sector like telecom, I mean, the service sector, the pricing is the only criteria. There's no loyalty factor. If I get a lesser tariff from Vodafone, I switch to Vodafone. Then the other day, the Idea gives a lesser price, I shift to Idea. When the loyalty factor of a customer is like this, is very difficult to gauge whether these businesses will do well. But I think Bharti still is a better bet than any of the other things. But on a lower scale valuation of Idea and Alcom, well, you can try with some stops and all that. You can find out that there could be something. I'm not totally negating it, but I don't understand the business model. And coming back to our business model, yes, corrections will happen, should happen. That's one way of looking at it. And the other way of looking at it is to grab the momentum idea for the week for make trading money. And I think 8K miles is a fantastic proposition. If you see the quarterly results, I was just going through the quarterly results. Now this company has got a 10 crore of capital, and this year they are going to clock in a net profit of 60 crores. Now when you have a 10 crore capital and a 60 crore yearly profit, you are making 6 times the money of your capital. I mean, just imagine the business. It's in cloud computing. Cloud computing is a product of future. That all taken, and TCS is there, Wipro is there. Okay, everyone is into cloud computing, but they are into very small way, and this company is totally focused into cloud computing. I think if you have financials like this kind of 6 times capital of the net profit, I think it's a wonderful company, and the price is still too cheap. So at 18, 30 rupees, it's a good buy. 1 year ago when I was explaining 8K miles, how the people did not understand what kind of a software technology company it is. Well, we have seen the results in 1 year. From 400-500 rupees, it has gone up to 2200. Why? Because of this sheer financial strength. So I think the strength is back, strength is there, strength is good, and price technically again is showing strength. I think it's kind of a mini breakout, and once it's steady above the 1800 level, I think we will get wonderful price. Should it correct, let's say arguably because of the market generally falling down, it falls, well, you get a better opportunity to buy it. So for this week, I'm just mentioning Max, I'm mentioning 8K miles, and I have explained to you Ujjivan. I think that should be enough for the week. Rest is all trading ideas. The WhatsApp subscribers gets to know my view possibly every half an hour. So that cannot be expressed in a YouTube program. I've just generally given you the concerns this week regarding Brexit and what Brexit will be to the entire world in terms of currency and equity markets. So keep that in mind, and rest is trade safe. Thank you very much for watching today's program.